Oh, hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Tucson, Arizona. It's a gorgeous day here today. What a day. My mind went, it was my mastermind group meeting today. I absolutely love the people in my mastermind group. It is just amazing, the synergy that we have, the ideas that go rolling around. Um, my brain is blowing again. It got blown last weekend with Networking Riches and the Mastermind Day the next day. It got blown again today. And then after we finished for the day, I then took a nap. The brain cells need a little bit of recharging, so I took a nap. And then wrote down some ideas that started flowing through from the stuff that we'd been talking about in our mastermind group today. So it has been a very busy day brain-wise. Absolutely love days like this. I love it because I feel energized. I get excited about the things that I can bring to my network, to my group, and to my clients and my friends and stuff. And so, yes, it all will be revealed. I can't talk about it now, but there's some exciting things going to be happening. And of course, it is the second day of the month, which means we are on to the second James Bond movie, which is From Russia with Love. And if you can, oops, got to go this way. See up behind me on the screen, I did start watching it earlier. And it's From Russia with Love. What was I going to say? I can't remember. Oh, jeepers. This is what happens on Mastermind Day. The brain goes. Oh, that's what I was going to remember. In one of the books about the James Bond movies and stuff, it was quoted that this is actually Sean Connery's favorite movie that he got to film. There was an incident in Istanbul when they were filming one of the scenes and stuff where they had over 3,500 people come down to watch the filming, that there was so many people there and they had problems with crowd control that they one of the stunt guys went and hung upside down from a balcony just to distract people away so they could continue filming. But the most interesting tidbit I found out about this movie is that when they do the fight scene on the train, it only lasts for like a few minutes in the movie. It took them 3 weeks to film. I'm like, what? 3 weeks to film a fight scene where the actors did a lot more of the actual fighting than having stunt doubles come in. I thought that was just amazing, absolutely amazing. And then one thing I did pick up on the movie, when they're at the gypsy camp and the other guys come in and start shooting everybody up and all of that, his James Bond's contact there who had taken him to the gypsy camp, whose name I can't remember, gets shot in the arm. And when he gets shot in the arm, you see him go like this, and then you see him smear his blood onto his jacket. Oh, it was so funny. It's just amazing how you pick up little things like this along the way. And because I'm always looking, because it's been a while since I've seen the movies, and it's a lot of fun. I love watching these movies, but it's been well over 2 years, probably closer to 3 years since I've seen any of these. And it's the first time in a very long time, a lot of years, that I've actually started watching the first one and working my way through. So there's, of course, 24 of them that are going to get seen in the first 24 days. And then there's 2 more that are going to be seen after that. And one of them is Never Say Never Again, which came out in 1983, which Sean Connery did as a remake of Thunderball because he didn't like how Thunderball was done the first time. And he actually wanted to remake it, but it got told no. So he did it in 1983, it came out. And then the 1967 version of Casino Royale with David Niven, which is more of a comedy, a spoof type thing than an actual Bond movie. But it's Casino Royale, it's based on James Bond and all of that. So we'll be watching those. But tonight it's From Russia with Love that came out in 1963, a year after Dr. No came out. It's the first movie that we see Desmond Llewellyn in there as Q. He was in 17 of the James Bond movies. And I thought it was one of those cases when in the last movie the last James Bond movie he did, which was, I believe it was Tomorrow Never Dies. Pretty sure it was Tomorrow Never Dies. He introduces R. So Q introduces R, and R is and Q announces to James Bond in the movie, and I'm pretty sure it is Tomorrow Never Dies. I will figure that out when I get down to that movie. So you're gonna have to wait 18 days, whatever. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So Q introduces R, who is played by John Cleese, as his replacement because he's going to be retiring. After that movie was filmed, in fact, I think it was after it was either just before it was released or just after it was released, Desmond Llewellyn actually died in a motorcycle accident. He was in his 70s and he died in a motorcycle accident. So I kind of thought, well, you know, he had just basically said farewell in the previous James Bond movie, and here he is gone. And I believe it's Tomorrow Never Dies, and they actually put the dedication up at the end of the movie. So I kind of thought that was, and then we see John Cleese again as now Q in the next movie. So there's a little bit of trivia for you on Desmond Llewellyn, but I absolutely loved Desmond Llewellyn. I thought he was an awesome actor. Love watching him as Q and having to deal with James Bond, who's kind of like, oh, what's this? Let's go play with this. And he's like, no, don't touch. Like, you know, like a little kid in the candy store that's getting his hands slapped all the time. I just love Desmond, and, you know, how he's always telling James Bond, bring it back in one piece. And James Bond will go out there and completely destroy, usually it's a car, completely destroy the vehicle or the boat or whatever it is that he's been specifically asked by Q to bring back in one piece. So I love that play that's always going on between Q and James Bond. It's kind of fun. So that's it from today. A mind-blowing day at my mastermind group, done some brainstorming afterwards, written down some more ideas and stuff, and now it's to go back and finish watching From Russia with Love. Tomorrow will be Goldfinger, and that came out in 1964, and it's kind of one of my favorites. But here's a question for you. Let's see if you can guess. What is, and some of you will know this because we have had this conversation before, so it's whether or not you remember it, but what is the very first James Bond movie that I saw? What is the very first James Bond movie I ever saw? Put your guesses. You can either private message me your guesses or put them in the comments, whichever way you want to do it. Might have a prize for the one who can guess. Family members, not allowed to enter. Sorry. But so family members, you're not allowed to enter. You're not allowed to comment. You're not allowed to say anything. You can private message me your answer, and I will tell you if you are correct. But what is the very first James Bond movie that I ever saw? And who was the James Bond in that movie? There you go, double barrel. What was the first James Bond movie I ever saw, and who was the James Bond, who was playing James Bond in that movie? Okay, so that's your homework for today, your question for today. I have mentioned it before in other videos. For those of you who know that I am a huge James Bond fan, we have had this conversation before when we've talked to James Bond, especially when I've talked to other people who are James Bond fans. So yeah, what is the very first James Bond movie I ever saw, and who was the James Bond? Who played James Bond in that? Okay, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We will catch you tomorrow, which is Sunday. It is R&R day, but I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to go anywhere. I don't know, because Monday's pre-travel day. Because Tuesday I move locations. So I'm trying to decide when to do pre-travel stuff. I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm doing tomorrow yet. But right now I'm going to go take my hard-boiled eggs out of the ice water that they're sitting in so I can put them in the refrigerator, and then I can go back and, because I cooked my hard-boiled eggs in my Instapot, so I've done a dozen eggs in there, fits in nicely. And so now I'm going to go put them in the refrigerator and then go back and carry on watching From Russia with Love. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you tomorrow. Hei konera.